Hi, welcome to your Pilates primer. We're going to go over your abdominal muscles, how they work, how to breathe properly in Pilates so you work those deeper underlying muscles, what stabilization means, and also what bracing means. And this is actually new for a lot of my students, so I'm going to be sharing this with everybody. Okay, your abdominal muscles. Your outer layer of muscles runs vertically. This layer of muscles, your rectus abdominis, when it contracts, it shortens you from here to here. So any of those exercises that shorten you from here to here work these muscles. No, I'm not doing this. I'm only doing this. So those are your outer layer of abdominal muscles. To exercise them, you do the movement that they create. Underneath that layer of muscles, you have two layers of muscles, your obliques. Your obliques, when they contract, they twist you. So they twist you laterally and they twist you diagonally. So to exercise those muscles, you do the movement that they create. Deeper than that, way deep in your body, you have a layer of muscles called your transverse abdominals. Your transverse abdominals are low and they run all the way around. Now these muscles, they hold your tummy in, and more importantly, they hold all your other organs in as well. So these are muscles you have to exercise to help prevent hernia and also to help recover from hernia. These muscles, in conjunction with your pelvic floor muscles, also help to prevent other organ prolapse. These muscles provide stability for in this whole area, your lower back and your hips. And stability in this area obviously helps lower back and hip health. It also helps your posture. It also helps upper back health coming all the way up to here. And stability in this area also helps your knees. These muscles, your transverse abdominals, however, do not create any movement. So how do you exercise them? And in Pilates, we do that in two different ways. In Pilates, we exercise your transverse abdominals, one, by breathing differently from how we breathe in everyday life, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But also, I mentioned that these muscles provide stability. And so in Pilates, a lot of what we do, especially at first, is we challenge that stability. And that sounds kind of vague, but it's really very, very specific. When you're lying on the floor and your legs are up in the air, what happens to your lower back when you lower your legs? Your lower back goes up, right? Usually, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. And that's because you're not stabilizing. You're not using your stabilizing muscles. So in Pilates, we challenge those stabilizing muscles by using our legs as weights or challenges to the stabilization. So your focus is going to be on really on stability and stillness here, not on big leg movements in Pilates, especially at first. So the breathing in Pilates, I want you to sit down wherever or however it's comfortable for you. A lot of us are more comfortable sitting up on a blanket. If you sit up on a blanket, it just gives your hips and your knees more room. So you choose what works best for you. Make sure you're up on your sit bones. Sit bones are even in the floor, nice and lifted through your torso. So normal breathing, we think of normal breathing as belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. And let's do that first. To feel that, place your hands below your belly button. Shoulders are relaxed down, ears lift up to the ceiling, relax your jaw. So now a belly breath. Inhale, expand your belly, expand your tummy like a balloon. And as you exhale, stay open and lifted across your chest. Exhale, draw your belly button back to your spine and feel how those muscles that work in there. Do that again. Inhale, expand. Stay tall. Exhale, draw your belly button back to your spine, and you should feel those muscles engage. And so now we're going to use that even more. I can help you feel that more. So you really feel those deeper transverse abdominals. Keep one hand below your belly button. Put one hand in front of your mouth and gently cough, cough. And you feel these muscles. You feel these muscles working. those are your transverse abdominals. You all have them, you all use them without realizing. And in Pilates, we build the mind-body connection. So it's also brain work. This is mind-body exercise. You have to be mindful when you're doing Pilates. So you are going to, in Pilates, draw your belly button back like you just coughed or like you're laughing, you know, that belly laughter when you feel your muscles work. Same thing, you're using these deep muscles. So belly button draws back. And in Pilates, we let our rib cage expand. So keep your belly button drawn back to your spine. Relax those shoulders again. Inhale, expand your rib cage, broaden your back. Strong exhale, breathe it out. You can feel the muscles work more with a strong exhale. Do it again. Inhale, expand your rib cage, broaden your back. Exhale, strong exhale. Feel those muscles work. So those are your transverse abdominals, and that's how you're going to breathe a scooped back or scooped belly breath in Pilates. So now let's go on to stabilization and bracing. In Pilates, I mentioned we're going to be working stabilization. So I want you to lie down on your back. Make yourself comfortable. Arms are by your sides, right next to you, not out to the side, right down by your sides. Reach your fingertips down towards your heels. Feel how that draws your shoulders away from your ears. And you can look at me on the screen when you need to, but then as soon as you're able, you go ahead and look right directly above you. Reach your ears away from your heels, and your knees are bent just enough so your feet are flat. So you don't have to have them way out here. I don't want you to have them way in here, just wherever it's comfortable for you. Now, scoot your hips away from your rib cage so your lower back is nice and long on the floor. Some of us naturally have more of a curve in our lower back. And if that's you, take a moment and pause right now. Go grab a scarf to put a scarf or something underneath your back, just to give you something to brace against. So make yourself comfortable with your back long on the floor, broad shoulders. So in Pilates, I want you to scoop, draw your belly button down to the floor using those abdominal muscles. Now, don't push with your feet. Don't squeeze your butt. Use your belly button. You're shortening between your ribs and your hips. You're pressing the sides of your waist into the floor, like you're trying to scoop this area down to the floor. Now, some of us are automatically going to cheat. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and do this from a different position. Relax your abs. Raise your legs to what's called tabletop position, which is a 90-degree bend at the hips and a 90-degree bend at your knees. Your shins should be parallel to the floor. Double check that your knees are directly above your hips. Some of you are going to be too close here. Have the knees directly above the hips. Lay back down, broad shoulders. Now in this position, hug your lower back to the floor. Scoot the abs down, press the sides of your waist to the floor, and you should feel all of this working. So this is ab engagement. Keep the back still. Lower one leg down and up, then lower the other leg down for toe taps or dipping your toes in the pool. And here you can see I move my arm out of the way. My back's not moving at all because I'm using this for stabilization. So what you're trying to avoid is your back moving around. Later on, when we open the leg out to the side, keep the movement small so your hips don't move. You're not aiming for big movement. You're aiming for no movement in here. Stabilization. Good. Now relax those legs down. Take a deep, relaxing breath and let it out. Good. Moving on from there, sometimes I will cue you to do full bracing, and full bracing builds on the scooping, builds on the Pilates scoop or the abdominal engagement. Full bracing also involves a pelvic floor lift. So now relax those shoulders, long neck, raise your legs to tabletop position, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Draw your belly button down to the floor. Press the sides of your waist into the floor. Relax those shoulders. If you're clenching your jaw, you're using the wrong muscles. You want the work to be down here. Stay scooped. Inhale, expand the rib cage. Exhale, feel that scoop. Good. Now you're working here, and I also want you to do a pelvic floor lift. Draw up. So now this is full bracing, scooping and a pelvic floor lift at the same time. Maintain this. Scoop, pelvic floor lift. Lower the feet down close to you, feet flat. Stay scooped, pelvic floor lift. Squeeze your glutes, raise your hips up to a shoulder bridge position. So you can do full bracing. So it's scooping here and pelvic floor lift, full bracing even in a shoulder bridge. And that will help give you even more stability. Relax all the way down. So in class, I will cue you. I will say, scoop your abs. I will say, hug your back to the floor. I will remind you, rib cage expansion breathing. And now sometimes I will also cue you to do full bracing. Now you know what that means. You can go back and watch these reminders as often as you need. Thank you so very much. I hope this helps you really do Pilates in a very effective way. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.